Hello, John. This is Ramon Thomas from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. I'm making this video to say thank you to John Taylor Gatto. His work has impacted me, and I want to share my story because maybe it can make a difference in somebody's life who is watching this video. I first came across John's work around 2007 or 2008. I'm not sure exactly when or exactly how. But at that time, I was experiencing a dramatic shift in my career. I come from a small town and just an ordinary public school, government school. And I found myself doing seminars and lectures at the leading private schools in South Africa. We call them independent schools. And there is an association called ISASA, the Independent Schools Association of South Africa, who had invited me to various regional conferences and national conferences. My primary topic was talking to parents and teachers and children as well about how to be smart and safe online. But the more I got exposed to these private schools, especially the private boarding schools, I started to see a very clear difference between the school that I came from and the schools where all the elites send their children. And reading John's work, especially starting with his books like Dumbing Us Down, and later on the Underground History of American Education, I started to find answers that explained some of those differences. And it's been profound for me to really see the inner workings of schools, private schools, and these private boarding schools from the inside. And for a long time, I reflected upon this and I kept thinking, well, how did somebody from a government school in a small town get to be invited to these elite schools to give these lectures? I really enjoyed what I was doing, and I enjoyed the topics, and I was very passionate about it. But what I realized was really fundamentally, looking back at my high school career especially, I had my own guerrilla curriculum, as John would describe it. I learned more from what I did outside of the school than what I did inside of the school. The work that John has done has helped me to understand what was missing from my education inside the classroom and what I did outside the classroom, how that actually made me the kind of person that I am and became later on in life and who I am now, today. I wouldn't change a thing. And I have to say thank you to you, John Taylor Gatto, for that belief in myself. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to share just some of the important work of John and how it's impacted me. Some of the amazing videos that you can find online include Beyond Columbine, an amazing lecture. But maybe the one that really shows you the beauty of a teacher who cares deeply about the child and sees every child as a potential genius is a documentary that was made while John was still teaching, I would guess in the late 80s, and it's called Classrooms of the Heart. If you're new to John's work, please go and have a look for Classrooms of the Heart and try to understand and reflect deeply upon what is shared in that little documentary. More recently, a few years ago, I came across a community called the Tragedy and Hope, and you can find them at tragedyandhope.com. And they produced an interview which is called The Ultimate History Lesson, a weekend with John Taylor Gatto. And it's a video that I highly, highly recommend. You can watch it for free on YouTube, and you can also go and find the Peace Revolution podcast, and you can find the episodes where they've taken those 5 hours of video interviews and they've turned them into a sort of discussion. To conclude, I want to tell you where I am in my life right now, John. I have completed about 17 and a half years of formal schooling, 12 years of primary school and high school, 3 years for my undergraduate, and recently I did 2.5 years in China for an MBA. I did another postgraduate degree part-time for over 2 years. So all in all, I've completed at least 19 and a half. It just feels crazy. It feels crazy that I spent so much time. However, I really do believe what I learned outside of the classroom is more valuable than what I learned inside of the classroom. Thank you, John Taylor Gatto. From my heart to your heart watching this, I sincerely hope that Janet and John have good health and enjoy the rest of the days together. You've been an inspiration to all of us, John, and I will make sure that people find out about your work in South Africa and also when I go back to China. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, John Taylor Gatto. You have helped me to see who I truly am, to discover myself, and the simplicity of life is found in the people and the connections and the relationships. And that's what really matters.